Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with Name Brand Wigs. This is Jon Renau Carrie in their light cap. So this is Carrie Light. It is a Remy human hair wig, and it is in the color Palm Springs Blonde. And the code for that color, and I'm going to look at it because it's a lot of numbers, FS17/101S18. It's a rooted blonde with a very light root. If you want to know more about Carrie Light, stick around. I'm going to tell you all about it. And I will be doing a comparison with two of the other Carries that come in different cap styles, and I'll briefly touch on that in this video as well. I am so grateful to Name Brand Wigs for sending me this wig so I could show it to all of you. I actually reached out to them and told them about a dream that I have to compare the different Carries that are out there, because they've got three different versions. They have their original Carrie, which is not Remy hair, and it has a full mono top and a lace front, and the rest of the cap is wefted. And I have a couple of reviews on YouTube on that one. They have a Remy hand-tied Carrie, which has Remy human hair, which just means that all of the cuticles are intact and going in the same direction. And that has a fully hand-tied cap. And this Carrie, which is their Carrie Light, which has a fully hand-tied cap and Remy human hair, but in their light cap, which I will show you and talk all about in this video. So they made it happen for me. So I was able to do this comparison. I'm so thankful. They really, really want to support this wig wearing community. They are wonderful, and they want to get as much information as they can out to all of us wig wearers. So please thank them for me. And if you've never been to their website, please check them out, namebrandwigs.com. They have a blog. They've got a lot of education. They have a wonderful customer service team, and I've spoken with them about how they train their customer service. Wonderful team, great training. You can email them, support@namebrandwigs.com, or you can call them. If you need help on your wig wearing journey, they're there to help you, and they are wonderful. All right, friends, let's take a look at Carrie from all sides. Okay, so I did put a little curl in this Carrie. I used my Beach Waver curling iron, the 1-inch barrel, and I did film a little bit of that, which I plan to share. I don't know if I'll put any of that on this video. We'll see how it goes, but I do plan to share it in other videos. So I know that some of you often ask me, when I wear a human hair wig and I curl it, you always ask me to show how I curl it. So I'm trying to get more content out there to help you with that. This piece does dry slightly wavy, and I will tack on some pictures at the end of this video so you can see how she air dries. All the Carries that I've had, and I think I've had 5 or 6 Carries now, and they've all dried wavy to a certain extent. This one dries less wavy than the original Carrie that is not Remy. And so your mileage will vary on how much wave you can get out of air drying, but just know that it does air dry just a little bit wavy, sort of a frizzy wavy. Really easy to curl though, definitely takes a curl really well. Now, like I said, this is in the light cap. So this cap is fully hand tied, it has some silicone. It actually, what makes it really different from the other hand tied cap is, well, a few things, but one of the biggest things is the temple, or not just the temple, the extended lace front that actually goes all the way down to the ears. So let's take a look at that right away. So here's the lace, and it goes all the way down to the ears. For some people, that is fabulous, unbelievable, because if you like to style your hair, having all of that lace real estate is going to give you so much flexibility. If you want to pull your hair all the way back, it's going to look like it's growing out of your scalp. For some people though, that lace is actually maybe not ideal, and I'll tell you why. If you have bio hair and you have a low hairline, this lace is going to cover that a little bit, and you can see it does that to me. So here's some of my hair right here. I have a low hairline on the side, and the lace covers that. Now, what that means is it can be hard then to pull the hair back because of the way that it sits on your bio hair, but that's not a deal breaker. You just can trim back that lace a little bit on the sides and that will fix that right up. That's what I plan to do. And sorry, if the lighting goes off when I come close to the camera, we'll take care of that for the parts where it really matters. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim that off right there. I'll trim it all the way up to probably right about there. And then my bio hair being a little bit lower right there won't matter. If, on the other hand, you don't have any bio hair, you're going to love the fact that that lace goes all the way down, because it really makes a difference in how much coverage you get, the styling, all of that. So it's great that they've got multiple options. If you don't want that long lace and you don't want to cut it, you can get the other fully hand-tied carry. The other thing I want to point out about the lace is it's a little bit longer than you sometimes find on these ready-to-wear wigs. Let's take a look at that. So there you go. And then there's the lace. So you can kind of see it's just a little bit longer right there. And again, it's transparent, so it doesn't show. So for those of you who don't mind that, no problem. But if you don't like the longer lace there, especially if you adhere your wigs, that can sometimes leave you a line of demarcation. Just trim that lace up. I have a video showing you how to do that with a pinking shears. That's what Jon Renau recommends that you use to trim up their lace. It really does help with realism. I don't want that to be a deal breaker for you. If you love everything else about this wig, that's something you can fix very easily, and I teach you how, so please don't fret about that. Now this one also has a full monofilament up here, so you can part it anywhere you want to part it. So I have it parted sort of left of center, but you could do a deeper part, you can do a right part because you've got all that lace, you can do a center part, whatever you want to do. And since this is human hair, you can style it up any way you want. So that's really wonderful. Something else I want to point out as we're talking about these features is Jon Renau has a very unique way of tying in the hair fibers on the lace. I love how they do this. So they put these little kind of wispy hairs, I don't know if you can tell, but right up at the front there, it gives it the most realistic look, like it's growing out of your head. It's crazy how they do that. It's so incredible. And I have had those kind of little hairs on every single one of my carries. So it's just something that they do. I've not seen that on any other human hair wig. It helps so much with realism. I really appreciate the attention to detail that they pay when they tie that hair on the front. Really, really great. Let's talk about the cap. So we've got, like I said, a lace front, and there it goes all the way beyond. These are the ear tabs. They have silicone on them. They're very, very flat. There's no bulk on the ear tabs. If you want to wear glasses, if you want to tuck, if you just don't like that little extra bulk on the side, you won't have it on these. They do still have the bendable stays in them so that you can get that nice secure fit. I've been asked in the past, what are those for? You sort of bend them into your head and it really helps that wig lay flush against the side of your head. And then you've got your extended nape with silicone on there. You've got your your Velcro. My brain forgot the word for a second. Velcro adjusters. And then the rest of this cap is fully hand tied. All of this, everything, all of this, the whole thing. That does add to the price point. This is one of the more expensive wigs out there for human hair. And part of it's the Remy hair, part of it's the fully hand-tied nature. A human being had to tie every single one of these strands into this wig. That takes, I don't know, something like 50 or 60 hours to do. Just sort of think about the labor involved in that. But what that means for you is perfect realism. If you're outside in a wind and the hair blows, you're not going to see wefting. Nobody's going to know you have a wig on. It looks so realistic. If you want to do a French braid, if you want to do updos, super, super realistic. So, you know, hand-tied caps, the drawback can be the price, but gosh, the realism that you get from them, the comfort, it's so flat to the head. There's no bulk at all. I mean, it is, if your budget can swing it, it is definitely something to think about. I think wefted wigs are wonderful and they absolutely have a place, but I'm so grateful that there are hand-tied caps out there. And for my wig sisters who struggle with the wig journey because you always feel like the wig is too much hair, sometimes that's partly the cap that adds a little bit of extra bulk. So when you get a wig like this, you're not getting any of that extra bulk. So beautiful. The hair is so soft, feels like healthy human hair. Like I said, it took a curl great. I'm enjoying this very, very much. Now, the wig fits very true to average. Jon Renau runs pretty true to average across the board. Often in there, and I have a strand of hair here, so you know what? If you get a strand of hair that's annoying you, just pull it right out. You're not gonna hurt the wig by doing that, and you're not gonna, one or two fibers here and there aren't gonna damage anything. I get extra cap up here on their hand-tied caps, and you can see when I do that, that I'm getting that, but it's still sitting really flat to my head. I'm not getting any kind of cone head there. So this cap is so soft and it really molds to your head. If you find caps to be sometimes uncomfortable, you might want to try a hand-tied cap. The other benefit I love about it is when you do this, you do not feel the cap. So if you're very sensitive to someone touching your head and you're afraid they're gonna know that you have a wig on, try a hand-tied cap. If you have a significant other and they know you wear wigs, but you're still ultra sensitive, if let's say your husband comes up to you, he puts his hand on the back of your head to pull you toward him to kiss you, he's not gonna feel your wig. If you go to the dentist and they kind of rest their arm on part of your head, they're not gonna feel your wig. Hand-tied caps really have a tremendous value for those types of things, along with all the others that I mentioned. So I just really wanted to put a plug in, and I do get asked, you know, are they really that much better? It's personal perspective, but I do think they're quite a bit better in many cases for those type of applications. All right, let's see. Fit, I got the bulk there. It runs really true to average. There is amazing stretch. I have had hand-tied wigs that didn't stretch a lot in the past. This one has really great stretch. So I would say I have a 22-inch circumference. I have this cinched in some. So 22 1/4, I think no problem. If your measurements are quite a bit bigger over the top of your head than mine, and you will find all my measurements in the description, I think you're gonna be okay because I get that extra bulk and it has so much stretch. I do think it's worth trying. Is it big head friendly? I'm not so sure. You know, if you're truly large measurements, you know, it's hard for me to recommend because I can't, you know, you can't guesstimate too much bigger than you are. I'm just saying, you know, if you're, you know, 22 1/4 circumference, maybe 22 1/2, and quite a bit bigger than me over the top of your head, I think you're gonna be okay. All right, you guys, let's talk about this color. Oh, density. Before I get there, let's talk about density. So their light versions are lower density typically than their regular versions, and they have a number of styles in the light version. So this, I would say, is a lower density than their Remy hand-tied cap. I don't think it's a significant amount. I do think it's lighter, but I definitely don't think this is like super low density. So if you are really struggling, your hair's been thinning for years, and you're looking for super low density, I think you could try this one, but I just want to caution you to have realistic expectations of wigs. You can only go so light, and then you can't really disguise the cap anymore. So I think it's a perfect density for the length. And definitely when I don't curl it, when I had air dried it, it felt a lot lighter density. I think the curls give just a little bit of volume that you don't have if you air dry it. So definitely worth trying. All right, let's talk about this color, Palm Springs Blonde. This is one of Jon Renau's most popular blondes on the market. It is a rooted blonde, but this root is an 18. An 18 is like the lightest ash brown, kind of a blonde color. It's a mix of brown and blonde. It's pretty ashy, and it's not dark. This is so natural and realistic looking. Very few women have hair this blonde that's natural. It's so rare. So if you were to get this color with no rooting, I don't know that that looks super natural, to be honest with you. And I do think a little bit of rooting makes wigs look less wiggy, for sure. So if you struggle with rooting on wigs and you've never seen Palm Springs blonde and you like those really light blondes, I encourage you to try this one. This rooting is super, super light. It isn't even in the brunette family of colors, and it definitely adds realism. And then we've got some platinum. It has a 101 in it, which is a platinum. And then we've got a 17. It's sort of their fashion syrup color. That's the FS on the color codes. So, I mean, this is a very light blonde. It's got platinum, and then it's got some kind of darker blondes running through it. It's somewhat dynamic, but it's definitely a light blonde. It is not a white blonde though. It's very light, but it's not white. There is definitely a little bit of warmth in here. It's more neutral, but there is some warmth in here. I wouldn't necessarily call this a yellow blonde. I do think this may be a little bit more yellow though than the synthetic version of this color. So also I want you to be aware, human hair pulls differently than synthetic hair. Regular synthetic pulls differently than heat-friendly synthetic. So if you are familiar with Palm Springs blonde in a synthetic version, don't expect this to look exactly like it. I think they did a fairly good job of trying to make it close, but you're never gonna get a perfect match between synthetic and human hair. Let me throw it on for you one more time. Please let me know if you have questions. I know this is a very expensive wig. This is a huge purchase. The only question I can't answer for you right now is how does it last? But the good news is I really like this wig. So I will wear it, probably only in the summer though, because it's really blonde for me. But hopefully I'll be able to wear it enough that I'll be able to give you an update on how it wears. That's the only thing I can't answer. But if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with a purchase like this. All right, everybody, let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Thank you so much, Name Brand Wigs, for partnering with me on this. This was big, and it was really great of you guys to do that. And everybody stay tuned for my comparison of the 3 different types of carries that are out there, so that if you are looking at carry, you can make an informed decision. I appreciate you all so much. I'll talk to you in my next video. All right, friends, let's get out here in some outside light. These glasses fit great with this wig, by the way. Oh my goodness, it's cold out here today. We've had some warm days lately. It's been wonderful. I really can't get off my deck here because of all the snow and ice down there. Oops, so hopefully you're getting a good look. The sun, unfortunately, is hiding behind a tree, so you're getting like partial sunlight, which I know is not ideal. And you can see that rooting. No, there's a huge patch of ice down here. I really want to get into the sun for you guys though. Let's see if I can. If I go down, send help. Maybe that will help a little bit. It's been so warm that all the snow has been melting, and then it rained 2 days ago, so it's all turning to ice, unfortunately. Okay, everybody, I hope that helped you. Again, don't hesitate to ask if you have questions. Thanks for watching. All right, I want you to see what Carrie looks like air dried. I think it's really important to have an understanding on these human hair wigs about how they air dry. Even though you can take heat to them, style them, sometimes it is nice to know how much styling actually is needed to achieve what you're looking for. So this is what she looks like air dried. Now, I will tell you, I did do some scrunching because I've had multiple Carries and multiple of the original Carrie, the non-Remy, non-hand-tied, and they do tend to dry somewhat wavy. This one dries a little bit wavy, but not as wavy as the other Carries that I've had. So I wanted to see how it air dries. Now, one of the things I want to address, sometimes on video, it's hard to tell texture, and I've had people I did another human hair review at one point, and a lot of people commented that it was beautiful, but one person commented that it looked fried. Guys, it's so hard to tell that on video. This is not feeling fried to me. It doesn't look fried in person. It just looks, it looks air dried. It looks like someone who doesn't really have curly or wavy hair. It's mostly straight with a little bit of texture, and that's how it dried. So if you love the air dried look and your bio hair sort of did this, so it would feel like home to you, now you know what this air dries. If you want a wavier air dried look though, I think it would be somewhat hard to achieve with this one. Maybe not with another Carrie Light, but with mine. I just don't see, I did put just a little bit of curl enhancer spray in it, and I scrunched it. So I really think this is about the amount of curl that you're going to get out of this one air dried. So anyway, I hope that helps. And that just gives you one more data point about Carrie Light.